Welcome to the Lone Machinist podcast, the podcast where it's just you, your tools, and the work. No team, no backup. I'm Jamie from JSpec Engineering, and every episode we're tackling the highs and lows of flying solo in the machining world.
And I'm Curt from Confounded Machine, here to chat about everything it takes to make it as a one-man show in the shop. From grinding and turning to the struggles of running a one-person operation, we're sharing the stories, the tricks, and the challenges that come with going it alone.
If you're out there in the shop grinding away by yourself, or just thinking about taking a solo plunge, this show's for you.
So throw in your ear protection and let's talk about life behind the machine.
How's it, Kurt? How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic, Jamie. How are you doing this evening?
No, I'm doing well. Had a bit of a potato day.
Potato day?
Yeah, it's month end and our electricity's prepaid here and it's more expensive at the end of the month, so I didn't want to buy more electricity. I'd rather wait till tomorrow, and it's like 30% cheaper for the first, about 1,000 rands worth of electricity is a bit cheaper, so I just did admin stuff and drove around a bit today. Went and looked at replacement vehicles for the work vehicle. So
Sick.
Yeah. So with our prepaid, like it's literally 30% cheaper in the beginning of the month. And this month we burned through quite a bit of power. So we're at the maximum rates. And I'm like, I don't really want to buy. It's not a lot of money. It's a couple $100, but I'd rather I'll buy tomorrow morning and get it cheaper. So that's the plan.
Wow.
Yeah, got a bunch of mill work going on, but doing admin stuff. Cleaned the floor, designed ashtrays.
Ashtrays. I like this.
Ashtrays, assembly trays.
So makes sense. I get it.
I took a note from Pearson and designed up a tray that all the components fit on, except for the body, because, you can't assemble the pallet system without the body, so it doesn't need a place on the tray. Like, if you manage to assemble it without that, you deserve a friggin' medal. The idea is you fill up the tray, assemble everything. If anything's left over, then you know you've missed something.
Nice. Yeah, I like the poke-yoke kind of deals.
Yeah. The first piece of the three, I had to break it into three pieces to print it. The first piece is on the printer now. I'll see how it comes out in the morning, and then just test fit O-rings and things and make sure it all works nicely. But that's part of the ramping up production on Anchor Point.
No, sick. I'm excited. I know mine is in transit. The beta unit's in transit here, so I'm very excited to get it and play with it and see. I'm mostly just curious to see how well it repeats. So I think I'll probably be the one that's pushing it the hardest out of anybody that's beta testing it, because I want to use it for screws. So I have to get I'd like to position it within a 10th. So we'll see. I'm really curious.
In theory, depends. You might need to make your own pallets or just put the pallets in the machine at 90 degrees and bore tighter holes, because I do them with a bit of a tolerance. Otherwise, getting it on and off is a little tricky. But
there
are drawings. If you want, someone just send you the model for the pallet, and then you can machine up your own pallets.
Sick. I might get you to do that, because I might.
It's going on the website. There's a resource section. I just need to actually get the files prepared to a point where I'm happy to release them. But what have you been up to this week?
Just a ton of production, a bunch of fun stuff too. There's a whole plethora of things. I'm basically just gearing up to working on those Canada pens. I tried to push them onto the Sile machine, and then realized that dialing the fourth axis on my little Curt mill, I've always tweaked with it and adjusted it, and I always assumed it's probably not as accurate as I think it is. And I have so much code that's just hand tweaked to get the finishes. It's hard to explain, but a 3-axis chamfer on a round body, you kind of have to push the tool around differently, because it doesn't look the same if you just do it to standard chamfer. Anyways, I've hand tweaked that code, and I don't want to do that moving into the big machine, because it's going through it line by line and altering the actual positions to get it to do what I want, and that's just so tedious. And if I make any changes, it's literally me sitting there for hours playing with it. So I threw it on the Sile, and it's just not quite what I want. The finishes are fantastic, but the way the machine is moving, it's not exactly how I want it to move. So so I spent a lot of time doing that.
Have you used the 3D Debur toolpath in Fusion?
I don't think I have, because that's under one of the manufacturing extensions.
Yes, but as far as I know, you can get a 30-day trial or something for free.
Yes, I have the 30-day trial.
Yeah, I've used my 30-day trial long ago. It's actually a problem if my one customer sends me if he places another order, it's a bit of a problem because I did the parts on the Slowio And
Right.
yeah, now I'm not going to be able to. Well, I might be able to just repost, but I'm going to want to make tweaks, and then I'm not going to be able to tweak.
Yeah. Like I have a weird project coming up where I know I'm going to need all the things from the manufacturing extension. So I'm trying not
So
to use it. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll probably buy a flex license, like just credits. But I mean, that's still
yeah, I
like,
was going to say you can
it's like
do it
20 or
with
40
credits.
bucks for 48 hours. So it's still not cheap, but it's still cheaper
Yeah,
than what,
well,
2,000 bucks a year or whatever that is.
cheaper than 3 times the price of Fusion for the year.
I know. It's
That's
like, I
it's
get it,
brutal.
but
Well,
whatever.
you would think OnShape is cheap. Have you looked at the pricing on OnShape?
No, I haven't. I
Yeah,
honestly have not looked anywhere.
3 times the price of Fusion per year
Really? For Onshape?
for a pro license. So that means that your shit
Oh,
isn't shared on the internet for free. So
yeah.
like their hobby license, it's whatever you save there is accessible to anybody. To
Mm,
have that behind some protections, it's then like $1,500 a year. I
mm.
thought it
Well,
was way cheaper than that. I've been
yeah,
promoting
so
it
do
to all the guys in my robot league, and for them it's fine. Like if someone steals your robot design, oh no. But there's stuff
yeah,
I do under NDA, so then obviously I can't use the free version. Not
yeah.
that I would
No,
want
that
to move
makes
away
sense.
from Fusion.
Yeah, and I love Fusion. It
Yeah.
does 95% of everything I want to do, but now I'm doing like all the fourth axis stuff I want to do. There's like 3 fourth axis toolpaths you get for free, and all the useful ones for me are all the
Yeah.
manufacturing extension ones. So it's like, well, I know I'm gonna have to eat that at some point. And when I'm using it like
Yeah.
continuously, it'll pay for itself. But right now, it's just like, oh, I don't want to spend that kind of cash. So just
Yeah,
biding
that's a
my
bit
time.
brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But I
up
mean
there.
your code in theory most of your stuff could just be programmed and then you freeze that version of the code and you just run that. You wouldn't necessarily
Absolutely.
need to output every day.
No. So, and if I just want to
Yeah.
get my designs like perfect to where I'm ready to drop cam onto them, and then use one of
Yeah.
like either use my trial or just buy like the one
The
day and
48
then
hour.
post all the
Yeah.
code, and then yeah, and then I can coast for a few months and then do it again, then
Yeah.
coast, and so
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
that's why they have that option, like because they know
yeah,
some guys need it just for one little job, and then they're not going to need it again. So it kind of makes
yeah,
sense.
no,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I know
okay. So
it's gonna be death by a thousand cuts. Like I know every year it's gonna be more limited, more is gonna move to add-ons. It's just the nature of the beast. But hey, if you
yeah,
need it, it's gonna make you money. It's kind of a no-brainer. But
yeah,
yeah,
no, 100%. Yeah. I
yeah.
see. Yeah,
So
you've
how's your?
been up to a lot of things. Pick one of the things, and then we'll dive into one of the
I'm
ones on the document.
I want I want to hear about your. It sounds lame, but I want to hear your anno samples you got back. I saw some video on the
Oh, no,
stories of
that's
your.
not lame. That's exciting. Yeah. So it's the finish is interesting. They electro polished it by the looks of it, or electro
Oh,
etched
okay,
it. So the finish is
okay.
a little bit different. Let's put it that way. There were
Hmm.
2 or 4 racking marks I wasn't happy with, but I think that'll be resolved going forward. I don't know. I think that's where they racked it for the electro polishing.
Mm.
Other than that, pretty happy. There was exactly 0 growth that I can measure,
How?
maybe 5
How?
microns, because they etch
How?
it. So they etch it
Oh,
back
okay,
like 10 microns and then they build up 10 microns again. So
okay.
I was a bit taken aback because I was expecting 20 microns per side, and it
Hmm.
is exactly as I sent it out. Like within the
I mean,
margins, I can measure to with the inside mark. It is exactly as I sent it out.
that's nice then. At least you
Yeah.
can depend on that.
So well, we hope I don't send it out now and everything comes back small. But I'm gonna err on the looser side for the Lang studs, and then right on size for the locating pins, and then I should be safe. I can always deform the aluminium like 20 microns. That's a minor detail.
Right. Yeah. 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 It's not too
Yeah.
much.
So yeah, that came. Oh, that came. Well, I went and fetched it. It didn't come in. I went and fetched it. On Friday, on a day of the week, I went and fetched it. So I
Yeah.
can't even remember when. So yeah, no, that looks really sweet. And then yeah, we're rolling with production now. I made those fancy
Sick.
process sheets.
Sick. Yeah. Those are pretty.
Yeah, I went and got them printed yesterday. Place was open on Sunday
Mm.
morning, so I went through and spent like $5 to have them printed and laminated. And then I printed a
Mm.
bunch of magnets with anchors on because why not?
Yeah.
The resin
I
printer was
saw the
standing.
I saw the
Yeah.
magnets and I saw the ends. I'm like, what? I'm like, are those little? And I'm like, oh, they're anchors. They're anchors. I'm like, okay, that's way. I thought it was something different. I'm like, they're so
No,
little.
no, no. Yeah, little anchors, and then that lets me track all the processes. So it's like The stuff that had to be ordered from China has been ordered. I have 60 pull studs on the way and 15 slide valves from the one supplier,
Mm,
and ordered a bunch of
mm.
tools as well. That more just so that I have stock of tools than anything else. Um, but yeah, that's all on order. I think I ordered a 12 millimeter T slot cutter, so 32 diameter, 12 millimeter length of cut. Then I'm going to rough the T slot or the toe clamp slots out with my current cutter, and then just come in with that and do a finish pass, just so that the
Oh,
inside of the toe clamp slot is smooth, not stepped.
that makes
Like
sense.
stupid things, like things that probably don't need to be done, but I'm going to do them anyway.
Yeah, well, it's kind of that last 5% is what people, or with some people, notice. Not all people notice, but
Yeah,
it's nice. I like when
yeah,
people take care to do that little stuff. That's cool.
yeah. So we're trying to get all that dialed in. I ordered the material this morning for it, for the 15 units. So 10 will probably go up
Oh,
for sale, and 4 will probably end up in my machine. Um,
sick.
yeah, I didn't want to only make 10 and then we have some setback and then we can't sell all 10. So I ordered material for 15.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
building a
awesome.
bit of a buffer.
Wow,
But yeah,
that's awesome. If
that's
it
on track. We'll see if it stays on track. Kind of waiting. I'm kind of waiting for tomorrow so I can order a bunch of the stuff that's on account, like my Eurosteel. I have an account with them. So if I wait till tomorrow, then I only have to pay for it in like 60 days' time. So
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm
New month. Yeah,
exploiting
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I may as well. There's a few other things that I'm exploiting that with, and then yeah, going to start rolling through the production process, which I'm quite excited for.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's a cool product, and like I said, yeah. If it does what it says on the
Yeah,
box, I'm absolutely interested in a couple of them. So
awesome. It's definitely going to do that because it says nothing on the box. We'll meet
I'm not
all the
too concerned.
specs on the box.
Meet every single one you put out. Yeah, sick.
There we go.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah. So did you
Yeah,
get Tool Center Point working?
I oddly enough, so the Siemens Control or the Post, I think of the Post. I sent you as well.
Yeah, you sent me the
I've just
post.
been I've just been lobotomizing it and pissing around with it, and I realized when I was setting up the fourth axis, I accidentally turned on Tool Center Point, and it does have Tool Center Point control in the Siemens Post natively. Because when
Oh,
I
okay.
went to do some fourth axis slotting on my machine, I was like, why is this slot coming out all sorts of weird? I'm like, it's kind of right, but it's not like I wasn't looking at the machine. I kind of glanced to make sure it wasn't going to crash. I'm like, oh, it's happy. And it's
Yeah.
covered in coolant. I couldn't see anything. And then when it came to do the chamfer, that's when loud noises started to happen. It just took a way meatier cut. Nothing crashed. But then I looked and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, so then after I ran it again just to watch it. And yeah, as the fourth axis spun, the tool point just followed where the where the point was, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I have tool center point on. Obviously, I forgot to turn it
Yeah.
off." And anyway, so but yeah, if you're
Well,
interested
that's pretty
in that,
sweet.
it's in the post somewhere. So
Somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
the fourth axis maybe down the line. My plan right now is
yeah,
anchor point on anchor point on anchor point to do fourth axis work.
that's a smart idea. Yeah, that would be
I
cool.
have very stupid plans afoot, like very, very dumb plans to be able to do the side haul. But yeah, if
If
it's
they're
dumb and it
dumb and it
works, it isn't
works,
dumb. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
build. Yeah, that's down the road a little bit. The plans afoot there.
mhm.
I've designed a riser. I just need some out of material I have around. I just need to make it. I just haven't got around to it yet.
Mm, nice.
To actually put the Gen 4 into my machine. I'm still running a Gen 2. Like I'm generations behind.
Did you
But it's
put a
also one
new
of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
right? Did you put a new body on the Gen 2, or are you just the solid Gen 2 running on that machine right now?
Solid Gen 2, made a Gen
Oh, okay.
3 with the ground pads and there's a bunch of tweaks.
Hmm.
Then I stripped my Gen 3 and put it into the components into the Gen 4, the first Gen 4.
Okay.
And
That's what
I
I was
have to
thinking.
remake the riser, yeah. So I've got to rebuild the riser and I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been busy making a
Yeah.
coolant manifold.
Yeah. I've been seeing some progress on that. So you're machining it because you printed it and now you're machining it out of aluminum?
Yeah. So I just printed a
Cool.
thing to check the fit. Now I'm busy machining it out of aluminium. I've got to put in soft jaws tomorrow. I've got a soft jaw that's like 300 millimeters long for a recurring job. So that's going to go on
Mm,
the one side, and then I'll just cut a soft jaw for the other side at the same step level, and then I can machine the
mm.
op2s. I just like I said, didn't want to run the machine today. Actually took Sunday off, so yeah, I
Oh,
haven't been in the workshop really too much today. Ended up gallivanting around and then doing CAD work.
is that coolant manifold you're making? Does that take those little, like, you made those kind of round, adjustable, like, ball
Yeah.
coolant? Oh, okay,
So
those
what
are
I'll
so
do,
pretty.
yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to set probably 3 of them at the shorter length. So a lot of my tools are like the holders are either 60 or 70 gauge, and then I've got 100 gauge tools. So I'll set 3 of them at the 60 gauge that it hits like my big roughing tools and my standard general tools, and then for my longer tools I'll have 2 nozzles pointing lower down because think
Mm-hmm.
there's 7 nozzles. I don't know. There's a whole pile of nozzles on there. So I'll mess around with them and get them that I don't ever have to adjust it because I've got a job now
Nice.
where I need to salami slice off 10 different layers, and it's always a problem with the coolant.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get
Yeah,
that.
so I'm just going to. That's why I'm rushing to get the manifold finished. I don't even know if I'm going to anodize it before I put it on
Mm.
because I kind of want to get cracking on that job material. So I had 5 pieces of material, and I need technically 5 pieces. So I ordered a spare one because I normally like to run just a couple spare parts because they get lost in the machine because they're tiny.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll run 5 full bars, then I'll run another 2 cycles off another bar, and then I've got to run 100 of the mating components, which I'll only get the material for probably either late this week or early next week, just because the guys are doing a stock take at my material vendor.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Oh,
also
that'd be
asked them to
cool.
cut me like 400 pieces of material. Like,
Well,
I'm a
hey, better
savage.
than
I'm like, nope.
stack.
Yeah, it's not worth me cutting material. I'm like, just supply all this,
No.
please. Here's a list. And then they
Mm-hmm.
cut to size. Like all the anchor point stuff will come 120 by 120 by 50. And I didn't order the pallets yet. Those I'll order later in the month because I mean, those are super quick to
Mm-hmm.
machine. So right now I'm just focusing on the stuff that's got additional processes. So the body, the pad's the big one. I've got to order tool steel tomorrow for that from one customer. And then when that
Mm-hmm.
comes in, get it all machined, get it off to heat treat, get it back, start grinding it all. Yeah, there's lots of processes on lots of things.
Yeah, it sounds like
But
you got a lot of things. Well, at least you're figuring it
yeah,
out and like getting
nothing
everything.
that we can't get our heads around. Like that's also was the point of the beta units was to get my head around the processes that I know what's required before we go into
Mm-hmm.
production. Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin said to me,
Yeah.
if you release a product and you're not and you're not disappointed with it in the future, or you're not, no, it wasn't disappointed. If you don't feel bad about releasing it in the future, you released it too late. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
glad I pushed this because the V4 is significantly better than what we had. And obviously that
Yeah.
the V4 will become the production version. It'll be the V1 when we release.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'll
No,
just
that's
keep
cool.
calling it V4 for now.
No, it's like the perfect device
But
because everyone always wants to polish it to like maximum, and it's like, no, you're not gonna. Yeah, you're just gonna
yeah,
you sit forever. Analysis by
yeah, no, no, it'll
paralysis,
sit
whatever
forever
it
if
is.
you try and polish it.
Right? Yeah, you just like,
Yeah,
yeah, I know,
but yeah,
I know.
speaking of Justin, we have more than one Patreon now.
Oh,
Yes, Justin from Toolpath joined the Patreon because he says he likes to have us both in his ears.
no, I
Um,
appreciate it.
and yeah, Ken from Robinson's Custom Creations and also Flux Work Holding joined the Patreon as well. So third
Oh,
time in a
nice.
row that Ken's getting a shout out. But yeah, thanks
Oh,
guys.
sick.
It's greatly appreciated. And now there's more than Patreon. We have Patreons.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, Jade
Yeah.
reached out to me and I was chatting, so that's
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's kind of
Yeah.
neat to have a tight community. So
Yes.
yeah,
No, no, it's very
we
much so.
appreciate all
Like,
you friends.
yeah, no, thank
Just
you
know
everybody who
that,
supports on
yeah,
Patreon.
and every one of your dollars just goes back into making this thing go. So
100%.
it's like,
It is now paying for itself. Like we now have enough
yay,
Patreons that Zencaster is paid for by the Patreons,
yay.
which is awesome. Yeah. But yeah, so I
Oh, that's
see.
awesome.
Well, we were discussing the LiPo. Actually, no. What machine did you use so wrong that it became a smoke machine twice?
Well, that was so with the induction heater I have, this is causing all kinds of funness. So I bought one of those. It's like 1800 watt induction coil, and it needs 1800 watts to run it. And I'm like, you know what? If I underpower it, like I bought a power supply that was only like 1,000 watts, but I'm like, it's going to be underpowered. But the power supply specifically said like it has overcurrent protection, like it'll protect itself if you try to pull more. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to test on this. 1,000 watts should be plenty for my needs. Plugged it all in, and I had the induction module sitting on top of the power supply because it has little standoffs, and I'm like, well, it's grounded to
Yeah.
the standoffs, and the power supply should be grounded. So I'm like, I shouldn't have any problems here. So I flicked the little switch on to make it go, and then just I dropped out.
Sorry,
All
that
right,
was
can you
me because
still
you've
hear
been
me?
frozen for like a month of Sundays. Yeah, no, I can still hear you. Just untoggle it.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
there we go.
Yeah,
No sweat.
Kurt. Oh, there we go. Okay, he's been frozen for like a month on my side, so I just thought, let me see if I can toggle it. But yeah,
Okay.
proper
Anyway, sorry.
podcast hosts here.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yes,
This
you're
wouldn't be
saying
proper.
you.
Flick the switch and just like hear a pop and see sparks and smell smoke, and I'm like, oh no. So I quickly turn it
Ooh,
off and looked, and on that little module there's a basically like a buck boost regulator, a DC regulator that takes your
yeah,
48 volts is what it runs on and drops it down to 12 volts to run the fans, and it just exploded. So I'm like, you know what, it probably had some like AC feedback from the chassis of the power supply. Something weird happened where it just got angry. So I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that's only running the fans. I shouldn't, like, everything else just runs on high voltage, so it shouldn't matter. So I insulated it from the power supply and flicked it back on, and it was fine. And then it was drawing current. So I'm like, oh, so I put just a bolt in the induction coil, and it started warming up and started getting smoke started coming off because I had some oil on the bolt. And I'm like, oh, perfect, it's working. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of smoke poured out of the power supply. So I was like, oh
oh
no, two
shit.
times the magic smoke. So yeah, and then the power supply just ate it. So apparently it did not have overcurrent protection, and it just gave everything it could until it just melted. So yeah, that
Yeah,
didn't work out.
that's
But
yeah, that's
thankfully DigiKey
unfortunate.
exists, and I mean, electronic repair is kind of my forte. So I bought the little
Yeah,
buck boost regulator and some capacitors that also weren't so happy, and going to pop. Actually, that should be here any minute now, and then I'll populate it later today. And then next for the power supply, I'm going to just run it off some big beefy lipos because they're not going to care. And then if that works
yeah.
out, then I'll buy a power supply. But like a 60 amp 48 volt power
That is
supply is
literally
not.
what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they're not cheap. So I blew up a I blew up an inductive heater because I put it on a power supply, and the power supply basically saw it as a short, tried to turn back on, came up at a low voltage, and the thing didn't start resonating,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it then blew up the inductive heater unit. So then I ran it on some LiPos, but then the LiPos over discharged, and the voltage dropped, and it stopped resonating and blew up. So my
Oh
experience
no.
with my experience with inductive heaters is not great. I have another two in the workshop, the small little 5 to 12 volt ones that I need to play with, but I'm just going to put them on a
Mhm.
PC power supply and hope for the best. I also bought two of them. No, it's 100 watts or 200 watts. Like a PC power
Oh,
supply
okay.
should easily do that. Yeah,
Yeah, I should have no issue with that, especially, yeah, they can maintain a nice clean voltage at usually at a good
yeah.
amount of current. So
Oh no, they can do a
yeah.
shitload of current. I bought an Xbox 360 back in the day. Came with an American plug, and I plugged it in, and it went kaboom. So I now had this Xbox 360 and no power supply. So I went and bought a PC power supply, hacked the cables off, put a toggle switch on the green and black to turn it on, and that thing ran my Xbox until it got stolen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my friend 12 volt
I mean,
power
not
supply is
nice.
12, and those things are like 13, 14 amps usually on the 12 volt rail, if not a
Oh,
bit more
really?
nowadays. Yeah. Oh no, they are a hell of a lot of power.
Huh. Wow. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like you're
Yeah.
using a lot of power to generate
I
that
mean,
kind of graphic work. So
some of my older printers used to, actually my first two printers I'll just go buy a PC power supply, chop the plug off, and put the green and black through a relay, and then a momentary, and then I would turn it on. And those ran 3D printers no problem. Because I mean, a printer's a
oh yeah.
couple hundred watts. They're not a lot of power,
Yeah, no,
like
exactly.
in the
Yeah.
grand scheme
Yeah.
of things. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, trying to get smart. I bought a watt meter too, so I'll put the watt meter in
Ooh,
line just so I can monitor the voltage and the
yeah.
current. So I can be like, okay, my current or my voltage is dropping. I can drop out before, because I only get about maybe 3 minutes of runtime on these little lipos before everything goes
Yeah.
south. So,
Yeah, I
but it'll
bought
let
one
me
of
test it.
those. I bought a big 100 amp current shunt and voltage measuring thingy for my boat, so that I could see how
Yep.
much the trawling motor was drawing, because then that lets me decide how much of battery backup I actually need, because turns out it only pulls like 30 amps max on a 30-pound
Oh, that's
trolling
not too
motor,
bad.
like way less. And you go
Yeah.
down from 5 to 3, you're still doing a decent speed, and it's pulling like 7 amps.
Oh,
Like
nice.
the
Yeah.
speed gain you get for double the power is really not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
thinking
I
of
know.
getting rid of my
That's
boat. I haven't used it since December.
oh yeah. Well, that's a long time to sit on it if you're
Yeah,
not playing with it.
I think I used it like 3 times last year. So
Mm.
we'll see. It's something I am considering getting. It's a small boat, but we'll see. I was looking at a vehicle today. There's a Nissan. These people who name cars need to be just taken out back and freaking shot. It's the Nissan Magnite. It's the Magnite
Oh.
Move, which is it's a little hatchback type, like little compact car, but the back seats have been taken out and it's converted to be a like a small panel van. So it's a 5-door panel van
Oh.
effectively, which means I can claim back the tax on the purchase through the business, and also load it as a business asset, so I can pay less tax because taxation is theft. Because my little truck is driving me mad. It's randomly overheating every now and again, and I can't find the issue. So I'm
Mm.
going to sell it to some unlucky soul and replace it.
Oh, yeah. If that
Yeah,
works
no,
out, sure.
it's
Yeah.
11 years old. I was looking at one.
Oh, okay.
I was going to go full Danny Rudolph and buy a mini truck, but I sat
Yes.
in one today. Its crumple zone is the crumple zone is my feet. The
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
accessory in the cab is the hazard lights. There's no fan. There's no heater. There is no radio. It is hazard lights. That's it. And for not too much more money, I can get something that's actually comfortable to drive, and I'd be happy to jump in and drive 4 or 5 hours in, because it's effectively a car, aircon, all the bells and whistles, just no back seat, which is fine. I only want to put 2 Rottweilers in the back seat, so perfect.
Mhm.
Also, it
Yeah.
lets me load up the back with stuff, lock it, and drive through Joburg and not worry about someone stealing shit off the back of my bucky. Because that is a
Yeah.
little
No,
bit of a
totally.
concern. Like if you've got tools and stuff on the back and you're driving through the oaks, literally run up, grab it, and run. So don't want that happening.
Yeah. I
But
love
yeah,
those mini
that
trucks.
was
I
they're
would
super
so buy a
cute.
mini truck. Oh yeah, my old boss had one, and he let me drive it
Yeah,
around, and like you could drive it forward and then slam the brakes, and the back wheels would lift up because you're like over the front
yeah.
axle. But yeah,
So
exactly what
like
you said. Like
yeah,
you
you
hit
get nothing.
another car at 20,
Yeah,
and like goodbye legs, like you're
yeah.
just gonna be a
So
little pretzel.
there's a slightly bigger one. So that's the Suzuki Super Carry. Then there's the
Mhm.
Jack, which is a Chinese one. It's actually got a real size engine. It's got a 1.5 turbo diesel in it and can
Oh.
load 1.5 tons, not 700 kilos. Same price, but also bugger all inside it. Like no radio, no fan, just emergency lights. That's it. It's a little bit bigger, but like if I'm going to spend the money, I may as well just get something that I actually want to drive around.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I've got customers that are an hour's drive from me. So if I've got to hop in and drive an hour, I want an aircon and I want it to be comfortable. And look, it's not going to be the fastest thing in the world. It's only a 1 liter, no 1 liter engine, but that's fine. I just want to get speeding tickets. I'm sure I can catch
yeah,
a tailwind and go down a hill to hit 120. Like,
yeah,
is what it is. Like,
yeah.
if it's comfortable, I don't really give a shit. Like, yeah, I have to add an
Totally.
aftermarket radio. So it comes without a radio, and to add a radio is like $380. But they're like, no, they get a rebate, so it's only $100 to add but it's the OEM, the fan, because that car's obviously got a bunch of variants. So it's the OEM really fancy like Android Auto radio for $100. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, I'll pay that. So yeah, we're seeing now. I'm
Sure. Yeah.
waiting for the bank to come back to me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
ooh,
I'd get
have
one of
some
those in a heartbeat, but
patience.
we live in the land of big trucks, whereas like if you're
Yeah,
sitting in that vehicle, you're going to be like looking at the bottom of someone's headlights, and I'm like, nah,
no,
it's just
so
a
that was the
turn
thing.
signal.
Like Danica wasn't also the little trucks don't have any safety features, no airbags, no ABS, nothing. And also Danica drives it around, and I've seen what she does. She rammed a bunch of BMWs at one stage. So I'd rather have something with a bit of a safety pack on it.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I'm getting looked at because I said that she rams BMWs.
Well, hey, if you're gonna ram anything, a BMW is a good one to ram.
Yeah, she wrote off
But
her Swift. She yeah, she drove into a bunch of them. Yeah, like
uh,
three of them. Yeah. Anyway, um, I see you are adding special smells to your boxes.
yeah. So for the Canadian pens that I'm now cranking out, I was gonna push them to the next batch, and then I had like waffled on them. I'm like, nope, I'm just making them right now. So I'm making them. I think I'm gonna anodize this first batch, bronze because it's maple colored. Like I would do red,
100%.
but you can't anodize red in titanium. Um, so
Oh,
we're gonna go with
interesting. Yeah,
bronze because
never
it
thought of that.
yeah, you can get pink, and you can get kind
Yeah,
of close to red, but it doesn't look red. So bronze
yeah.
is everybody likes bronze. It looks really good. It's super punchy. It's maple syrup colored. And then I was like, you know what? The boxes have to smell like maple syrup. So they already smell like burning because they've been laser cut. So they smell like
Yeah.
campfires. So I'm like, oh. So I found some maple syrup extract, and I'm going to put it in the boxes so that when people open the boxes, it should smell like campfire and maple syrup, which I think is about the
Well,
best smell you can have.
my friend who used to do laser cutting, he used to laser cut the stuff and then he would put it in a box with some nice smelling wood, like they store suits with. He would leave it there for like a week, and then the burning campfire smell would go away, and it would only
Mm,
smell of the fancy smell.
mm.
Ooh, guess
That's a
what,
good idea
Kurt?
too. What's up?
Your parcel has completed clearance
Oh, well, that's
and is being
fantastic. Because
processed. I kind of expect it to be there
X.
tomorrow at this point.
Oh, I'd be very excited. Not that I can do too much yet, but yeah, it'd be nice to have it in
But
hand and at
still,
least play with it. I'm
yes, there's also
excited.
some other stuff in the box.
I'm very excited about that, and so
Yes,
are our Patreons probably, because I imagine they're going to
probably.
slowly filter out to them. So we'll figure that
Yep,
out.
that's the plan. Um,
Uh,
also, Justin said, please don't let him win the pen. He specifically asked to not win the pen,
all right.
the
Okay.
Patreon pen.
Well, I
But yeah,
appreciate that.
I was like,
He's a
cool.
gentleman. He's talked to me a
Oh no,
few things
yes,
about certain things, and
yeah, no, no,
he's a cool dude.
I dig him. Like we were chatting this week, he's like, no, also just let him know what the shipping costs, and he will pay the shipping on the beta units. I'm like, no worries. As
Yeah,
soon
no,
as it's
totally.
shipped, we will chat about that.
Yeah, and that's what, like as you said, like friends don't want to
Yeah,
get deals. Like I don't want you to give me a deal on when you go into production of these. I want to pay retail because I want you to do what you do, and it's worth it
sure.
to me. Like it works all around.
Well,
It's not like
yeah.
yeah,
That's what my mate Dave said to me. It's like, don't give me special friend price, because if you give me special friend price now and you do that again and again and then you got a business, then guess what? None of us are getting the benefit. So rather charge me
absolutely.
what you're going to charge me and just, yeah, like, don't play around.
Yeah,
But
no.
yeah,
So more
um,
resin printing. What else are you printing
yeah,
now?
the same thing, but longer. I delivered
Okay.
all, yeah, yeah, deep breaths. I delivered 62 of the 50 parts because I printed 12 of them backwards and had no use for them. So I just gave them to use as assembly tests. Delivered 50 parts of the longer version. Got a message on Friday. Oh, could we possibly make it 10 millimeters longer? And can we have another 20? I'm like, sure. Then I got a follow up email today. How soon can they get like 20 of these units? I'm like, I can come past tomorrow with like 8 to 12 units. So I printed the first four and then realized I forgot to scale the model because of the shrinkage of the
Mm,
resin. You've got to go up like 1.5%. So I started a print now before the podcast. It'll be done at around 2 o'clock this morning. And then I will probably try to get out of bed, probably fail, but I'll try and put another print on. And then tomorrow morning at like 9 o'clock, they'll be done. I can put another print on and deliver to them in the afternoon.
nice.
So good thing
That's a
I
quick
good thing I have
turnaround.
two printers.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
they've got a trade show coming up, so they want test units or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's getting a bit frustrating. Like this whole thing's dragging out.
Yeah.
Like I better get a
Speak.
notification at midnight to say that they paid me, or I'm going to be rather grumpy because it's now month end. They should have paid today, last day of the month. They said they would pay today. I'm assuming it'll only clear at midnight.
Mm,
But yeah, it's a
yeah,
bit annoying.
that makes it tough. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
like
doubt.
hoping like how it clears. Otherwise, they are going to have a very angry Jamie on their case, and they might lose their privilege of having an account with me because at this point I've shelled out a shitload, had to pay accounts today, and I'm like, where the fuck's my money, guys? But yeah, that's just
Yeah.
business, I guess.
And you know what the
That's
funny thing is? The only people that have ever kind of I wouldn't say like hung me out to dry because that's
yeah,
not quite true, but like the only people that ever stress me out like financially are corporate companies worth millions and millions of
yeah,
dollars. Like the average Joe who buys something, they never want like I've had so many people that are like, "Can I just pay you now and like you can deliver whenever?" It's like
yeah,
and and businesses are always like, oh, 30 days, okay, well we'll process it in 30 days. It's like, no, that means I want to be paid in 30 days, not like you
yeah,
start the process in 30 days. Like, don't be, you're $1 million. Like, wait, you don't have the
exactly.
bandwidth to support my $1,000 or $2,000 invoice or whatever it is. Like, yeah, it's
No, that's exactly it.
silly.
Like these guys are getting on my nerves because they're meant to be doing really decent orders every month, and they're at not even a third of those order volumes that they're promising. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting over being paid in promises at this point. Like stuff's been
Yeah.
dragging
Yeah.
out for 6, 7 months where they've just been placing small order, and it's really beginning to stuff with our cash flow because I've been buying equipment and building out processes because no, we're going to be ordering lots, and yeah, it's getting a bit old now.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you.
But yeah, we'll see. They best pay tonight, or they yeah, I'm going to pitch up there tomorrow and just start taking my stock out of their storeroom. Like you guys can go back to paying up front. Like it used to be 50% deposit on placement of order and 50% on delivery within like a day of delivery. And then they wanted an
Mhm.
account. And now, where's my money? Like you said, last day of the month. It is the last day of the month. But yeah,
Mhm.
we will see. That's just, yeah, general struggles of businessing.
Yep. No,
Speaking
exactly. Everyone
of,
encounters that. And yeah.
yeah, it's just, it can be a bit tedious to deal with.
Yeah. No doubt.
But speaking
No
of
doubt.
business things, um, I got some questions from my Q&A thingy that I put out.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I think I have one too. So yeah, shoot
Oh,
with
cool.
yours.
From Nasby CNC. He was asking how long I've been running my own shop, and that would be this year would be we're about 6.5 years in. In 1st of November, it will be 7 years that I've been doing JSpec engineering full time. The first 2 years I really just potted around, and then we had to be profitable all of a sudden. And then, what are the struggles and benefits of running a shop in SA? Well, we live in SA. Shipping anything is a total utter ship show. Um, like we're learning now with the pallet systems, we can make it cheaply here, but by the time we ship it, it gets yeah silly because we're in the arse end of Africa. But one of the benefits is that labor is effectively free. Uh, we were discussing this, and who was putting out a call? Gimbal Automation put out a call for a machinist, and I was the machinist where I used to work. I used to run the wire cutter as well, and was the head designer, and was making like $6 an hour, and that's considered a good salary in South Africa in that industry. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
Wow.
basically free here. Like it's one of the issues we're having. We're starting to manufacture some monikers, and I was chatting to the Freddie agents here, and he was saying, yeah, it's a bit of a tough sell because you can pay a guy literally like $10, $12 for the day. He sits there with a cut off Coke bottle and scoops your coolant tank out. And you've created a job for the day. You don't really care. Like you just pay the guy for a couple of days instead of
Mhm.
buying a Freddy. Like it's a very tough sell in South Africa because our labor is effectively free.
Right. Yeah. I can
So
see
yeah,
that being, yeah.
it's interesting living here. Let's put it that way. Like it's definitely
Mhm.
got its pros. Like the cost of living is nothing compared to the rest of the world. Um, but yeah, like also I can't charge $100 an hour in my shop because I just won't get work because I'm
Right.
competing
Yeah.
against guys who are charging $25 an hour, and they are considered expensive.
Yeah. That's
It's
wild. I mean,
insane.
like you said, it all scales, but it's
Yeah,
still interesting to hear.
yeah, it's very yeah. It's like I actually got an offer this week to buy out JSpec Engineering, mostly because they want me. They're like, you can keep doing
Mm,
what you're doing, just do our work as well. Like we'll buy you out, we'll throw another machine on your floor, give us some equity in the business, and do our work, please. And I'm like, nope, don't want to be machining tool steel.
oh, yeah.
Like,
Fair.
not on my machine, especially. Like I can go pick up a couple $1,000 of work I can go now and pick up a couple $1,000 of work from them. I just don't really, I'm not tooled up for it, and I don't really want to be doing it.
Yeah.
I
No,
like
that makes
aluminium.
sense.
If I scrap a part, I just make another one. Like material cost is negligible.
Yeah. Well, and then also being able to, like you said, drive your own show and do what you want. That kind of
Yeah.
is a benefit of well as well. So
No, exactly. Like I told him no again. He offers every few months. He tries to buy me out. I just laugh at him
well,
every time.
I mean, nice to have the offer. I suppose
Yeah,
it's yeah,
but I don't want to work for them either. Like that's not going to be fun.
yeah.
I used to consult with them, and
Mm.
yeah, it's a bit of a shit show. Like I think it's better now. The company was started by two brothers, and then their their dad, their mom, and the one guy's stepdad or whatever, their family crap. They put in bucks to get the business going, and then they sold off their shares to a family friend who came in and took over as CEO, and just like he's got lots of experience running big companies, and was like, okay, cool. What do we do here? Let's put it all on a whiteboard. Okay, what is the actual profit margin on this? Nope, we don't do that anymore. We don't do this anymore. And they just niched right down to what they're good at.
Yeah.
And
Just
they like their
good method.
turnover's gone. Their turnover, their turnover's gone down, but their profit's gone up. So they're focusing on what they're doing, but like a lot of the stuff they were doing, they were making next to nothing on it. So like
Mm.
one of their sayings is turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. So they're chasing profit,
Mhm.
not turnover, and that's yeah the
Right.
correct way to do it. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
100%. Yeah. Sell less of
well
expensive things.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a job, a repeat job that's come in now. I think I did it in January, and it's come in again. It's 100 landing gear components. And that job, I think the total material cost on that is like 12% of the invoice value. Like it's nothing. It's all just
Mm.
machining time. And it's not complicated
Yeah.
parts. It's just there's 100 of them. So that's going to
Nice.
get set up and just run. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice thing to have in the queue.
Yeah. It's going to take like 3 days to do all the work. But I mean, woohoo, 3 days. Like it's nice that I can just load stuff and let it run.
Yeah, I know. I had a few emails from people just being like, "Oh, like how are the increasing material costs going to affect your product?" And it's like, you know what, my product is so little is based on material costs. Like so much
Yeah.
is just a time cost. So it's like that's a nice place to be because you can absorb wild fluctuations of material and be like, yeah, it's not a big
Well,
deal. Like it's
my biggest
mostly
customer,
time.
they haven't had a price increase in like 2 years, because the price of material can literally quadruple and it won't affect their price, because
Right?
it's
Yeah.
literal cents worth of material that's going out in rands, but with dollars of machining attached to it. So like it can just get absorbed, and we've gotten a lot better at making their parts. So yeah, we've just eaten the difference, and we actually making more than we've ever made on that job, because I've just
Mm,
gotten really really good at making it.
nice.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Well, yeah, that is the goal. Like, get
Yeah.
good at the things you do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No one
that's
wants to
that's the
grind
whole.
forever for nothing.
Well, that's the whole point of. I know we discussed this a while ago, where it's like we want to niche in on what we do. We don't want to end up with 15 people, and we want to just get really good at what we do.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, and that is the actual goal. I don't want to have a bunch of staff that I have to deal with ever. Like, that is not my idea of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think
Yeah,
that's both why me and you started these things is to avoid that whole,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
element of
Get
work.
a
But
get a robot instead.
yeah, so much
Yeah, get a
so much
robot
so.
and name him Robert.
Rob
Robert the robot.
the robot.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's my plan. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm learning it's better to just build big fixtures, and rather than go automation right now.
Yeah. No, automation is not. It's just that same game I'm going to play. I got to do
Yeah,
more night run stuff. That's hopefully where your pallet system is going to come into play, and just get get niche out in that thing, make efficiencies in that area, and
yeah.
yeah,
Can look at
that's
proper automation down the line.
yeah, totally. Yeah, like if you have a pallet that you're hand loading and you have it dialed in enough where you're just putting a pallet in and out, that's a way easier thing to automate than an entire process that you have to
Yeah,
start from. Like just
no,
get it
exactly.
all. Like AJ's doing that. If you listen to the Taps and Patience
Yes,
podcast, he's basically treating himself like the robot right now, which is the way to do it because you hand
no,
out
hundred
all the
percent.
things that you're going to run into eventually, and you get to do it without spending the $100,000 on a robot first.
Yeah,
Like
robots are silly expensive. I've
Yeah,
been
I mean,
looking.
yeah.
Even in China, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've been shopping around a little bit, but we're not at the point where we need that yet.
Yeah. No,
Yet
exactly.
being the
Exactly.
operative word there, but yeah, unfortunately, yet is reliant on customers, not dilly dallying with placing production orders. So we will see. They are releasing their product. As far as I know, they are releasing it tomorrow. And then it
Okay.
should be real order quantities of their stuff. Well, I'll actually recoup the cost of my tumbler and the cost of my laser engraver that I bought for that job in November, and it's now finally going
Oof.
to market.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
been
makes
a
it
bit
rough.
been a bit annoying, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me quickly thank our Patreon. There's only one of them that's on the shout out every week list, so that's Jade from Benchmark 20. Thank you very much. You can find our Patreon on Patreon and probably in the description below, where you can throw in a couple of dollars to support the show, and that will go to supporting the show. And if the US still exists, to going to IMTS in 2026. But yeah, thank you to all three of our Patreons. At least we can
Yeah.
still
No,
manage how many people are there. Hopefully not for long.
oh, appreciate it. Appreciate you a ton.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I have a question that I didn't get
Oh
to.
yes, you had a question.
Um,
Yeah. Sorry, I've
so
been
yeah,
rambling.
the real. Oh, no, don't worry about it. The real penny pincher asked, "What do you guys listen to when you work? Podcasts, audiobooks, music?" So yes, for me, basically all three, depending on the day and what I'm doing. If I'm doing something like kind of memory intensive, I don't listen to anything. But then usually in the morning, I'll start off with like a podcast of something that's interesting, like one of the plethora of podcasts, like AJ, AJ and oh my god, why am I
Harrison.
spacing on his name right now? AJ and Harrison, their podcast. I'll listen to With Intolerance. I'll listen to the BOM. Uh, I'll listen to Lean Built. I'll listen to uh, thousands. There's thousands I listen to. Not thousands. There's tens I listen to. I'll listen to our podcast because I always learn more to listen to it twice.
Yeah,
So I'll go through that
I'm
in
the
the
same.
morning, and then usually by the afternoon, my brain is kind of getting a little toasted. So then I flip over to like an audiobook, and I'll just listen to audiobooks. I rarely listen to music. Maybe on a Friday I'll listen to music if I'm feeling jazzed, but most of the time it's just audiobooks or podcasts. So I'm a big sci-fi dork. So right now I'm going through the series of I'll just open it because people love hearing about that kind of stuff. The Expeditionary Force. That's like the latest one. I'm on like book 13 of that. So yeah, if you're a sci-fi nerd and you like the Bobaverse and stuff like that, Expeditionary Force is a pretty good one. And it's
Okay.
massive, so you never run out of it. Like there's each book is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 hours, and there's like 15 to
Oh
16 of them
wow.
now.
Yeah, my wife gets really angry when people release books. Like she won't start listening to a book series until the full series is out.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't want to get left on a cliffhanger. But yeah, so I tend to listen to podcasts most of the time. I do, and music. I don't really do audiobooks at the moment. Haven't done audiobooks in a long time, actually. I think the last audiobook I did was like one of the Game of Thrones books. And the last physical book I read was Seven Eves, and that was when it came out.
Oh, it's a good one.
Oh wait, no, sorry, I've read since that. I've read The World According to Clarkson. I used to read when I traveled. So I used to have a tablet with an audiobook. Oh, not audiobook, reading app, and then I would read on my tablet when I got on a plane. That way I could fall
Mm,
asleep easily. But yeah, that's
nice.
yeah. Except when Seven Eves got really good, then I couldn't. I didn't want to sleep on the plane. I wanted to read my book. But yeah, I tend
Yeah, that
to. I listen to pretty much everything you listed off there. Also, continual improvements with the austere guys and like and precision. No, like and precision's that. Yeah, maybe like and precision. I don't know. I listen to them. I listen to No Dumb Questions by Destin from Smart Everyday and Matt Whitman, and that is flippin' brilliant. Like it is one of the most entertaining podcasts because you've got Destin who's really science, and you've got Matt who's theology, and yeah, they'll teach each other about each other's fields of expertise.
yeah, that's a good one. And it's so varied. Like the topics just kind of
Yeah,
swing
it's
every
all
from
over the
super
show. Yeah,
sciencey to
all over the
like
show.
I
Yeah,
listened to one on folk sodas, like pops that are like 100
yeah,
years old. It was so interesting.
yep.
Like I tried a bunch of them
And
because it's so cool.
yeah, no, those are. I was doing something in the garden. I think I was washing tarpaulins, and I was listening to the episode with the crash at Crush, where they crashed two trains into each other, and they had one of
Mm,
their barnacles and testicles inserts, and I was literally laughing out loud. It was so brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Oh,
their stuff is really, really entertaining.
yeah. With the plethora of books, if people are listening to this and
Yeah.
you're a machinist, one book that is fantastic, The Perfectionists. If you haven't listened to that and you're like at all in this trade, that's a great book. It's the whole history of precision from like the early like shipbuilding days up to modern times, and it explains all kinds of things. It's very interesting. That book was a
Okay.
good listen, and if you listen to the audiobook, the reader is pleasing to listen to as well. So highly
Okay.
suggest that one. I have like 400
Oh,
books I could suggest, but that's a good one.
okay. Yeah, I actually want to get Everent on my phone, but it's, I'm being cheap and don't want to pay for it. I pay for it for my wife already, so I'm like, can't I just steal hers? But yeah, it's like all of $10 a month. I may as well just pay for it and have
That's
it.
been one of the best.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it,
been one of the best investments I've ever paid in myself is just audiobooks. It's just like I
yeah.
would never
Well,
listen
I
to them.
mean, it's one of those things where you pay for Everent, and it just makes it easier than pirating them. Like the same thing with
Mm-hmm.
Steam games. Like they made it easier to just buy the game than to pirate it, and that like
Yep.
Everent is like that. So I'll probably end up just getting it. But yeah, I don't know. I tend to do podcasts and then music if I run out of podcasts, or if I don't feel
Yeah.
like thinking, then like if I'm focusing on what I'm doing, then I'll switch to music.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Kurt, can you
Cool.
toggle your camera again for me? You've been frozen
Oh,
again
am
for
I
like a
frozen?
month of Sundays. Yeah, I think it'll be fine in the actual podcast. It's just
Yeah, the audio hasn't cut out. But
no, audio's
there.
been fine. It's just yeah, I think one of our internet, probably my internet connection, is in full potato mode. So yeah, you
I
moved
would.
for a second and now you froze again, but that's fine. We'll leave it like that. But yeah,
I'll keep
then
moving on camera.
what other things were on? Oh, there's only one other thing on my. Oh no, there's two other things. So I want to clipperify my printer.
Why?
Um, so that I can do filament changes mid print. The firmware that
Oh,
I have
okay.
on there does not quite support it properly, and I'm like, why not update it? Like I have a backup of this firmware. I can always roll back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only thing that's different in my firmware is my extruder steps, which I need to take a note of before I port over. But yeah, I was thinking of
Hmm.
going to Clipper just for shits and giggles. Might be able to get the probing routine to be a little bit quicker as well because it's a bit slow right now. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
again, it ain't broke, so don't fix it. But I think the backboard even has holes for a par four. Like when I laser cut the backboard, I laser cut holes for the par four to
Hmm.
go the Clipper route back then, and I just haven't bothered.
Yeah, I know. I bought a board to support going to Clipper 2, and it's been sitting in a box for like a year. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I should do it, but I don't use it enough to make it worth my while
my
yet. So,
main board on there will support Clipper. I just need to buy a par four for it. So I'll probably just pick up. I mean, I'll even do it on a par three. I might just harass my neighbor for his old par three and use that because
yeah, I went down the.
he tied his whole Clipper setup on his Ender 3KE to Home Assistant that it tells him when it's finished and he can check all sorts of crap. I'm like, like I don't really see the value in that, but yeah, I kind of want to get a bit more performance out of this printer. Not that I need it, I just want it.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing deep dives on printers. I have no need for one, but like all your talk of them is making me look at FDM ones, and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
I kind of want to get one. Honestly, if I'm being totally
they've
honest,
gotten
I want to
so
just.
good.
Yeah, I want to build one. Like I want to build a Voron just for fun.
Yeah,
Like I don't need it. It's just a hobby. Like I just
well, yeah,
enjoy
that's
it. That
exactly
that
it.
I would like to do that, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
would,
keep
I
kicking
mean
that can
that's
down the road.
yeah. Speaking of hobbies, yeah, we had robot combat this weekend, and I managed to
Mm.
not make weight with my conveyor system and my robot,
Oh
but
no, so you weren't
still
able to make
to
children
pretty
cry?
much. I still managed to pretty much dominate everyone. It was
Oh,
fun. I
okay.
lost one. I lost one fight. Hang on. Yeah, I lost one fight over the whole both tournaments. I lost one fight, and that was
Hmm.
the final in the non-destructive. I drove myself into the
Hmm.
pit. I ripped everyone
Oh,
else
nice.
apart. I won destructive. I came first and second in the. Well, I won both my fights in our qualifiers for destructive because there were only. Hang on, there were lots of destructive robots. There were six destructive robots. I won all my fights, so I got to choose who I wanted to fight basically in the final, and I
Hmm.
chose to go against another destructive bot because why not put Brick Shithouse in with the destructive bot, and then I ended up bullying him into a corner, flipping him over, and then just scooting him around and then pushing him into the pit eventually. Because Brick Shithouse is a 4-wheel drive block of 70-75. And then I came third because I won the other match with Peter, and I ripped his chicken head off of his robot because its name's Thundercluck. It's got a little chicken head lift arm thing and some
That's
titanium
cool.
armor that I gave him that I could not get purchase on. I was just grinding against him with my little aluminium weapon. Um, and then I got beat by a 11-year-old who I beat last time. So
Oh,
that's fair, I guess.
that's hey,
But yeah,
that's
new
awesome.
robots. It did okay. Didn't do as well as I want, but yeah, I guess good driving makes up for bad robot.
Fair.
Like I've probably got the most stick time in the league by like a factor of 3 because of all the events we've done. We go to an event, I get 3 days of stick time. Every hour I run an exhibition match at stick time. Like no don't stand a chance. It's great. But yeah, anyway, that was our weekend endeavors.
Oh, that's cool. I know this weekend
Yeah.
it was all these batteries charging lipos. It just reminded me that I haven't flown my little quad in like a year. So
Oof.
and
Yeah, I
now my
think
girls
it's
are big
about the
enough
same.
that like we go to the park in the summer and
Yeah.
like I have two FPV goggle sets, so like she can wear one
Okay,
and I can
nice.
wear one and I can
Yeah.
fly her around and I'm like she's gonna get such a kick out of this. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put talking about Steam. I think I'm gonna download the like DRL sim again on my
Oh
computer
yeah.
and just practice flying at night a little bit again because my fingers are probably rusty. I haven't flown in a long and those
Dude,
little
that
quads are
that comes
fast.
straight back. It comes
I
straight
bet.
back.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
flown my quad sitting on the table there somewhere. I don't think I've flown it in over a year. Since Titan's had my remote, I haven't flown it because he's got my old remote that thing's set up on. So I must go grab my remote from him and then rip it around again. Like the pack is
Yeah.
finished. Like I fly for 2 minutes and I land and the thing's beeping because the packs are now like 4 years old and they don't get
Right.
storage charged. They get charged and left.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I can buy more batteries, but I don't want to. I'm being cheap. Actually went to buy batteries for because I want to replace the batteries in my combat robots. The Oaks in the league bought up all the stock in the country because it's not a common battery. It's like a 200 or 300 milliamp 2 cell. Everyone in the league is running them except me. I'm running my old batteries that I've had from my gliders, and I went to buy batteries, and there's no stock anywhere. They've literally bought everything, which is good. It means the league's growing, but yeah, a bit annoying.
Yeah. That's the one hobby I was talking to my wife, and I was like, "That's the one hobby that's nice because as I stay out of it, everything just gets cheaper. Like
Yeah,
great batteries that I spent $100 on, 2 years, 3 years ago, are now like $30 because like the
yeah.
technology just grows
But I
so
think there's
fast.
I think there's also been a bit of a lot of people leaving it, especially here. It boomed in like 2016, 2017, where every oak had a copter, was flying, doing irresponsible things, and then one by one they just dropped off. And it's only the hardcore guys that are left. And I think there's still new stuff coming out, but I don't think the demand is there anymore. So they're kind of dropping prices because they can't sell it at the high prices anymore.
That's actually a good point because I used to see a lot of little like tons of people buy DJI
Yeah.
little drones and just little point camera ship kind of deals. And I used to see a few of those flying around, and then they just kind of went ghost. So I think people probably were like, "Oh, this is fun," and now I'm bored. So it's like,
Yeah,
well, good,
exactly.
more airspace for me.
Exactly. Like, I mean, yeah, if we go back on on my YouTube channel, I've been flipped. There's videos from 2012 of flying FPV, like
Yep,
a long
yep,
time ago. And like
yeah,
we
man.
started off the race league in South Africa. Like James and we built minis when Blackout and the Quad. So the Blackout Mini
Yep.
and the Quad Mini were the two minis available.
Oh
And then
yeah.
we were like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
yeah,
No.
no, we're not going to go to market. The market's going to be flooded. We were very wrong. It exploded.
Yeah.
Like I actually have a video of flying my little 5-inch quad with a GoPro on the top at like 90% throttle to hover because you couldn't buy motors. Like I was running Hobby King Park Flyer motors that I found that looked okay. He was running the little Tiger 1306s. Like, yeah, it's insane how far that
Mhm.
stuff has come.
No kidding. I know.
Yeah.
I know. The
I
same thing.
mean,
My
yeah,
first little quads and tries could like get off the ground and then lift a GoPro, and that was about it. And now like my little quad has like horsepower,
yeah,
literal horsepower's worth of power, like
it's
thousands
insane.
and thousands of watts. It's like
Yeah.
that's nuts.
No, it's absolutely insane. Like the amount of power these little guys have nowadays. But I mean, even the battery technology has come so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like I was actually looking the other day. It looks like RC Explorer fell off the face of the earth.
I know I saw him pop in once in a while, and then I haven't. Yeah, he's kind of gone
Yeah,
ghost, but I
I
hope
know he
he's
was
well.
working with Gakko whatever or Jaco whatever, um, and then he was working with Hack and Mod. The guy who started Flight Test, Chad. He started another channel called Hack and Mod, and he popped up there a few times. But yeah, he seems to have pretty much dropped off the face of the earth at this point.
Yeah, is what it is.
David Windowsill. But yeah, back in the
Windowstone.
good old days of flight test. But yeah. Oh, Shredo.
Cool,
So
man.
what from the sorry, I'm reading the document here. Okay, so well, let's start wrapping up here.
Yeah,
Um
sounds good.
what is in your search history this week?
So my search history this week, besides all the post edits and learning about Fusion, because Fusion has a new method now where you like set up the machine and that kind of overrides your post. So that's kind of the good way to do it. I don't. I'm doing it with raw post edits.
Okay.
So a bunch of stuff on that. But the
Yeah.
interesting stuff is I've been searching up like ramen noodle recipes. That's like I've got like down the deep rabbit
Oh,
hole for that
lovely.
because yeah, every poor college kid obviously gets addicted to ramen noodles, and then I just want to make better and
Yeah.
better recipes. So, anyways, I've been looking up like a bunch of like what is it? Uncle, what's his name? Uncle, blah, 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 can't
Uncle
remember now.
Roger.
Uncle Roger, some Uncle Roger
Uncle
videos,
Roger,
and
yeah.
yeah,
Have
great,
you
great channel.
have you watched Joshua Wiseman
Don't believe
on
so. I
YouTube?
don't believe so.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, not. Oof. I apologize in advance. We will
Oh,
definitely put a link for that in the show notes because, yeah, Danica and I watch him. Joshua Wasman link. Danica will make sure there's a link for that. Dude, that oak's recipes are like next level. We do his
cool. Okay.
orange chicken regularly. Yeah, he actually started a new channel, recipes channel, because his channel's kind of changed what it's doing over time. It's now more like what's the best fast food in America, or what's the best this, less
Mm.
cooking. And yeah, he started a recipes channel. And dude, all his recipes are great. Like I've actually
Oh,
got
sick.
both of his
That's,
cookbooks. I've got
oh,
his
cool.
first one and then the second one, Texture Over Taste, where the cookbook is divided up by texture,
Cool.
which is a very interesting way to do it. Like, no, dude, his recipes are great. Like, whew, they are some of the best
Okay, I'll look it
recipes.
up. I'll
Yeah,
look it
no,
up. I
we'll
did like
definitely put a
that.
link in the show notes for that. He's also done
Sick.
some
Cool.
ramen stuff.
Yeah, I like that. I like all variants. The cheapest, the expensive. I'm in for all of it. I love that stuff. So yeah, and that's basically been the bulk of it. How about you? What have you been
Um,
looking up?
I've been googling Suzuki supercarries, Nissan Magnite, fucking stupidest name ever, the Magnite Move. So I've been looking at cars and buckies and things. Looking up Malanky Nanos because they are
Oh yeah.
amazingly easy to program. You just need to know what setting you want to change. And then isotunes.
Yep.
I try to buy a set of isotunes. The Can headphone wireless ones, like nice workshop headphones. I cannot buy them in South Africa.
Oh
Amazon will
really?
not ship them to me. isotunes will not ship them to me. Amazon.ca will not ship them to me. Amazon.uk will not ship them to me. Amazon.de will not ship them to me.
Hmm.
And on their websites, I had to put my email address in. So I've gotten 3 emails a day telling me I can get discount, come back and buy the thing. And I'm like, I cannot buy it. Go away now. Yeah, it was a little bit infuriating, but I think I found a pair of not isotunes of they had a funny name. I found them on AliExpress. I just thought, let me look
Hmm.
on there, see what they come in at. Oh, they Zohan hearing protection, Bluetooth headphone, earmuff 5.0 headphone safety.
Hmm.
Like, I love their names. Um, yeah, so I've been looking for those. And then yeah, Malanky Nanos are amazing. You set a switch on channel 5 and you
Hmm.
power on the Malanky, wait 5 seconds, power your remote on, wait for it to connect, and you just toggle channel 5, the number of times you want to change the setting. So if it's like setting 5
Nice.
you want to invert, you go ding ding ding, ding 5 times, it flashes 5 times, changes. It's
Nice.
friggin' great.
That's cool.
But yeah,
Better
and
than the
then
throttle.
I discovered that car dealerships aren't open on a Sunday. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, yeah, I was a bit infuriated because I wanted to go look at cars yesterday and I couldn't.
Fair. 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 Cool. Well, that sound like fun things.
But yeah, anyway. So where can people find your things?
You can find my wares at confoundermachine.com. I am going to do the Canadian version release of the pen along with a bunch of like regular releases for the entire world. The first batch is going to go to Canadian addresses. I still haven't figured that out, so a lot of people have messaged me saying how I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to open up a new lottery for that. I don't exactly know yet. I know there's a lot of demand, so that's always reassuring. And there's also demand internationally. Like everyone was saying, like, hey, I'll totally support you for that. So I'm figuring it out. I will have all the information. If you jump on my site under the contact page, there's a newsletter. I send out all my information that way, so you can stay in the loop. And I'll probably update all the socials when I can. So that's where you can find information about me. How about you, Jamie?
So yeah, you can find information on our website, jspeceng.com. There's a section for the anchor point, which is getting updates somewhat regularly at this point because we are going to start putting technical information up there, leading up to the release at the end of, well, we're in the new month by the time this airs. So this month, end of the month, we're planning on having some units available. The plan is for 10 units. We will see. We are making a few more, so there might be a little bit of extra. And there's also the Framelock utility knife and some t-shirts and merch for the podcast and for JSpec Engineering available on the web store there. Yeah, speaking of fancy Kurt's. That looks rather
Finally
spiffy
have
with
it.
the zipper.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Kurt's wearing one of the Lone Machinist's hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the anchor point we're going to be doing we're going to be releasing two versions of it. So there's the anchor point starter kit, and then there'll be the base only. So for people who want to have they want to buy a second base to make a mooring point because the files for the mooring point base will be available. The idea is you make your own to suit your machine. We'll also offer them, but I mean, shipping a couple kilos of aluminium around the world is not a cheap endeavor. So we're going to encourage guys to make their own bases. Obviously, we'll supply the CAD files. So yeah, we'll have the option to buy with the pneumatics kit and without. That way, you don't have to buy two pneumatics kits because you're only going to need one because it's all internally ported now. Because I got fancy and built all that stuff in. So yeah, what are you up to today, Kurt?
Today, as soon as the recording stops, I'm going to start running the machine again, finishing all the fourth axis work on the little Curt, which is doing a fantastic job. I am going to jump on the big mill and finish doing the pocket clips because now I've switched everything to pen styles. I cut a bunch of old style pocket clips. I got to update them. So I'll run that. Have to run some new code on that, do some soft jaws, mill that little beaver on the end caps. That's all going to go on this big sile. And then I'll probably run the lathe machining some thumb side. Just a bunch of production, just a whole
Okay.
wackadoo of production until I run out of
Did
time.
did you get your slitting saw?
No, I didn't get the slitting saw, but that's down the line. I'll keep kicking
Have
that
you
can
haven't
down the
ordered
line.
it yet? Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I
No, I'm
wasn't sure
just
if you had ordered it.
no, not yet. No, it's spendy,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna sit on it for a little bit and I'll
Yeah,
I'll
I
tackle that
ordered a
soon.
new face mill, which it looks like it's a positive rake. So I'm very keen to see how it performs. It's listed as a high feed, which it really shouldn't be. Um,
I feed face mail.
I actually have one. It uses these square inserts at 45 degrees, and it's
Oh,
technically
okay.
classified as a high feed because it forces all the stuff up your in axis with the spindle.
Right.
Yeah, so in theory, it is one. It uses a WNMU insert.
Oh yeah, that old
So
thing.
it's uh it's a it's like a WNMG. It's funny shaped. It's like a triangle but with funny sides. Anyway,
Oh,
looks fancy.
Trigon. Yeah.
We'll see. I'm kind of looking for one that has less cutting forces because I want to use it to face the bottom of the anchor points. So I threw one of those in the cart, so we'll see when that arrives how that works. But yeah, I need to be a useful human tomorrow. I want to quickly finish off that manifold, and then I think I'm going to send Danica to go pick up some steel because I need to make some tool steel bits and bobs quickly for a customer because he is rapidly running out of stock that I haven't assembled yet.
Hmm.
So our sales have been down on the one product we make for him, and I've had these gearboxes here since December, and now he's literally sold 5 of the things in a week. We've got another 10 on order, so I'm
Hmm.
gonna get through machining all the steel for that. I'm literally just gonna make 20 of everything, put it on the shelf. That when he needs again, we just have to wait for gearboxes, and then we can assemble.
Nice.
But yeah, I want to get
Nice.
that. I need to get the coolant manifold, then that done, and then run that other aluminium job. We're gonna make 100 of everything. of 2 components. So I'm waiting on some drills and some end mills for that. Just restocking. I have stock. I just want to make sure I don't run out halfway through the job if something goes awry.
Yeah, fair. Well,
But yeah,
sounds like
tool
a
break
busy week.
detect. Yeah, tool break detect is going to be useful this week.
Oh yeah, I'll have to pick your brain on that later. I've been
Yeah,
struggling with
I
that, so
will.
I'm gonna talk.
Oh, what are you trying to measure on tool break detection? Because I got lazy and mine just measures is the tool within comma 1 of what it was. That's all I care about.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll just look at
Yeah,
your macro. Or did you write it as a macro?
I wrote a sub program.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wrote a sub program called TBD, and in my um, in my program, I use a comment. I pass through TBD, and then I just uncomment it, and then it will. My subroutine tells the machine. I'm trying to think. I tells it to go up, rapid over to changes coordinate sets. Rapids over comes down to like 5 mil above. Then we'll probe the length of the tool, go back up, and then change back. It won't change back to whatever coordinate I was on, but it'll change back to like G54. Just so I know if I run that, I'm back at G54. If I'm running G57 or something, the program calls it like 5 lines further, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but that way it's super quick, especially at 100% rapids. It's truly
Yeah.
terrifying. Yeah, then I
Cool.
use so it comes down 10 mils above, then it runs the standard Siemens tool break detect macro or tool break
Nice.
detect function. Yeah, because their measure functions are pretty robust.
Yeah, I don't even know if mine has this. I'm sure it does, but I don't have like
It
I've never messed
should.
with tool break detect. I've obviously done tool like calibration, tool
You've
length, but
got
never tool break detect.
automatic tool measurements is in the menu. Hey?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, then
So
you go. If you get stuck, just give me a shout and we'll run through it. It's literally you're in the program and you say add tool measurement or something. It's super simple. It's like
okay, I
3 button presses.
I can't do anything anyways because my tool sensor is now just like a little block of paperweight. So, but once
Oh,
once that gets changed out because it's sticking, so
yeah.
it's just not
Oh,
repeatable.
okay,
But
I know.
I think
Not
that
worth
will
the
be
risk.
no, that'll be solved at some point. So I'm
Yeah,
not too concerned. But
yeah.
cool.
We'll see what happens with that when it ever arrives.
Yeah, I'll pick your brain then for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, no, I'm lazy and just made it do the bare minimum of what it needs to do. Like I don't do any tool
Sweet.
diameter measurements or anything.
Yeah, for what I'm using it
No,
for, I
'cause-
just
yeah, you just want to know that it's still there.
exactly. Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm using
You're
it for, making sure the 3 mil is there, the 2 mil is there, and that I don't even check the last tool.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't need to. If the other two haven't broken, that's not going to break. It's made 100 parts already, or made like 300 parts already, or something stupid. Um, so I might add TBD now just in case. But yeah, the peace of mind of knowing I can just hit go and come back in an hour to there being 20 parts in the back of my machine is great.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's worth it. But yeah, anyway, okay, cool. Let's wrap it up there. A little bit of a few minutes
Sounds
shorter than normal,
sounds
but that's fine.
sounds
So yeah,
terrific.
thank you everybody for listening. It is greatly appreciated. If you're on YouTube, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and any of the other podcast players, as far as I know. And if you're on one of those, you can find us on YouTube. Yeah, thank you for listening. Please give us a like, subscribe, and or review, depending on which platform you're on. And we will see you next week.
Thank you. Take care, all.